It's time to talk fantasy football. It's time to let them know. Where you let us crunch the numbers while you crush the competition. So grab your playbooks and crack a cold one, because here's your hosts, Teak and Baney.
Welcome back, the third and final episode of this week before we get into week one of the fantasy football season, boys. Anyway, we're talking sits, Badge. I'm gonna let you start the boat because I feel like my starts were on point. So we'll give you a chance to recover from my starts.
Guys, we're back, baby. Week one, final episode of week one. So much season left. I'm so pumped. So I guess I gotta start my sit-em. So I will start. I'm going Matthew Stafford at Detroit, his former team. I'm sitting him. The tides have changed. So Stafford, we all know he's been nursing a hamstring injury. That's always a risk when that happens before the regular season. I mean, whenever you have off with no football contact, especially at the beginning of the year, there's a high risk of injury there. But that's not the only reason why. Top three of his offensive linemen missed a great amount of preseason time too. So he's banged up. His O line's banged up, and they haven't played a game yet, a regular season game. So having Stafford and his O line not 100% coming into this high intensity atmosphere, I'm not taking a chance this week. I got him in one of my fantasy leagues as he's one of my backups, but I'm not touching him in DFS as well. So I'm staying away from Stafford this week against his former team.
I don't like the game as a betting standpoint, but Stafford back in Detroit.
It is a good narrative.
He may have a chip on his shoulder.
Little revenge game
Might have
too
a
for the
chip on his
playoffs.
shoulder week one. So I'm gonna stay away from that one. I don't know. It can go either way for me. So you're not. I don't think you're starting off hot. I think I'm going to take over the sits as well.
I just feel you're gonna have a better option coming into week one. That's all I'm saying. No one drafted Stafford as their starter. I ain't gonna spot start him.
Actually, he was a keeper in one of my leagues.
You kept him.
I
Tell him the
didn't keep
truth.
him.
You kept him.
I had Jamar Chase for my keeper.
It was T kept him. I'm just kidding. We gotta get some clout here. He
But,
didn't keep him. Tell him the story about your guy keeping him.
There's no story. He just kept him. That's all I can say. He kept him. That was a weird keep, but whatever. To start off for me, I got DeAndre Swift as my first sit here. Titans are usually good against the run. They have been for the past couple years. I don't see that drifting far away at all this year as well. On top of that, Swift pops into a whole new system, new team, week one. The only way I can see him getting fantasy points is red zone touchdowns, like 5-10 in, and some targets his way. That's the only thing I can see happening where he'll over exceed my expectations in that.
Yeah, I mean, I could get on board with that. I don't have him. I don't have any shares of him. Or I didn't start him in any fantasy lineups as well, DFS lineups as well. Just it's like he said, like Teak said, it's a new team, new system. You got a rookie quarterback, new system, whole new team. I love where they're going with it, but I think I'm going to stay away as well week one.
You got a second one?
Yes, I got a second one. I'm just thinking. I know you're going to love the second one I got, so that's why I'm hesitating. So this pains me to say. So Teak's going to be on board with this one. I know that. I'm sitting Jaylen Warren at Atlanta. So he's shaking his head. Yes, I knew he's on board. So Jaylen Warren, yeah, they announced he's going to be ready week one after leaving the preseason game with his hamstring. I'm big on Warren this year. I was big on Warren this year. I still am, just not week one. So not only how I am unsure about his health and his hamstring, even though he's playing, but this Atlanta's defense, they made some moves this year. They're going to start 0-1 week one. We all know that. But Atlanta last year were 6th least fantasy points to running backs. And now they added a lot of pieces. He's loving this. He's loving this. So this is how you know we're going to give you guys good advice. We're not biased here, as much as I want to be. Now again, they added a lot of pieces like Matthew Judon. Pittsburgh's going to run the ball with former Falcons coach, Artie Smith. So I just feel like with that hamstring injury, Najee's going to be out there more, and I think they're going to do a little trickery here. I think they're going to try. He's going to try and throw you guys off and start slinging the ball through the air. So, but not a good matchup. He doesn't. I don't know his health situation. You should have better options this week. I'm staying away from Jalen as much as it hurts.
I definitely think it's going to be a low-scoring game week 1. That being said, I'm sitting Kirk Cousins week 1.
Ooh, good.
Fantasy-wise.
You were right. You got this. You got the sits as well, buddy.
I do think the running backs will shine this game. Like Badge said, there's going to be a lot of running the football, whether it's Warren, Najee, Bijan, Algier. So, my phone's going off the hook. I don't know if you can hear that.
Oh, I hear every ding.
So
but you were moving your hands to ding, so I didn't know if it was intentional.
There's all the points I was making.
Hey, and don't forget, tell them about our bet in case you missed yesterday's episode.
So the following week 2, Badge is going to have to wear some Falcons gear on the show to show how badly Atlanta beat him week 1.
So the true story is Teek's going to have a terrible towel. He's going to have to spin it and go, wee! And it's going to be around his neck the entire show. So whoever loses has to do that. That's our bet. So you're not going to want to miss that. Teek with a terrible towel. It's going to kill him.
But who's your third and final one?
So my third and final one, I mean, you guys might not be happy with this. I'm kind of ending on a stinker. I'm sitting all Chargers wide receivers this week. So week 1 is always a tough decision, but I mean, you're going to have much better options. Stay away from DFS as well. So until I see how this offense plays out, I mean, the wide receivers are in question, the running backs. You got Herbert's foot going on. Too many question marks. So the Raiders defense, believe it or not, we're actually in the upper half against wide receivers, least points. So I think they were 15 or 16. I also bet on the Raiders as well. I just think the Raiders are just going to take this game over. Just too many questions. I know they got Jim Harbaugh coming back, but I'm just keeping this one simple. Hope it helps. It may or may not, but I'm staying away from all the Chargers wide receivers this week.
Yeah, I want no part of this offense whatsoever. Throughout the season, you name it. This is one of my fade offenses this year. So you can say a Chargers name all day, every week until the end of the season. I'm going to be up for it. I don't care if they're playing a high school team. So.
Yeah, and I know Josh Palmer, he's the number 1 receiver there. He goes super late in fantasy. He's always been a number 2 and 3. Now he's going to have the top corner on him. I don't know how that's going to pan out. So until I see a little more.
And in our 14-man league, there was a guy hyping up a Chargers wide receiver, former ESPN employee, now with who badge? Outkick. Was hyping up DJ Chark, and I just got a notification on my phone just recently that he just dropped DJ Chark as well.
Oh, so the guy he loved, he dropped. Dan C. He'll be back.
So a weird flex. He's hyping up this guy he just dropped without week 1 even starting.
Make sure we write that question down for him. So don't forget that. Viewers, comment it too. Don't let us forget that. We're gonna kind of throw some heat at him because he was a big DJ Chark fan. He's in one of our leagues.
But third and final sit for me, DK Metcalf this week. Patrick Surtain got paid. Patrick Surtain will shadow DK Metcalf across this field. That being said, you're be a great time, I think, to start JSN, and he might bloom week 1. You might see JSN's value after week 1 go up if Sertan shadows all game DK, which I think should and will happen.
Yeah, this one. I mean, I don't have any DK shares, so it's kind of hard for me to give you my input. But if you got them, especially in deeper leagues, I mean, that's tough. If you can find a better matchup, like Teak said. But JSN, I do have shares of, so I'm big on him this year. So I mean, this one's up in there for me. We'll go with Teak and take his knowledge on it.
And then, did you have a third final guy, or were
Yeah, I already rang through them.
Dang. Oh yeah, because we did it pretty quick there. We're keeping them short and sweet this season. It sounds like a lot of information packed in a short amount of time, rather than those hour-long episodes. That way, hey, you can listen to us in the car real quick, or at your desk at work. If you're got a little time off at work. So we like to keep it short and sweet. For further updates throughout the weeks, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button so you do not miss an episode with week 1's starts, sits, the following starts and sits. We're going to dabble in some DraftKings, FanDuel as well, the Money Badger segment. We got a lot coming to you this season. And hey, we're going to catch you on the next one.
Later.